most dramatic win of the young season, the Twins will open up what we hope will be a 4-game series with the Chicago White Sox. And the Twins will hope to extend a little bit of a winning streak here as they take on the White Sox, a team from the American League Central, their first opponent from the division that they'll face here in this young season. And we welcome you to Target Field. Very moderate out, 50 degrees, something like that.
T-shirt weather.
Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven, and Jose Barrios tonight will be making his third start. And in his first 2 starts of the season, we've seen glimpses of what the Twins hope he can become. And except for a couple of innings towards the end of his last outing, he was outstanding.
Well, we go back to opening day, or for his first start in Baltimore, it was a shutout against the Baltimore Orioles in Game 3 of that 3-game series. So Barrios off to a great start, as he was in his last start. 10 up, 10 down against the Seattle Mariners, and it looked like maybe another shutout for Jose Barrios. Well, the 4th inning came, gave up a base hit, then an RBI base hit. Then he made a mistake to Seager, a 2-run home run. That's kind of baseball, folks. You're going to have your good games, you're going to have your bad games. Hopefully tonight he's got a good one.
Perhaps to no one's surprise, as the temperatures warmed up a little bit, the bats have started to show signs of warming up as well. The Twins had a good ball game against the Astros. They hope to open this series with the lineup producing a lot of runs in support of Jose Barrios. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Jeep. Get great deals on the Jeep brand lineup at the Jeep Spring Sales Event.
Series tonight with the Chicago White Sox, which will be the first games Minnesota has played this season against an opponent from the American League Central. And games within the division are significant.
The American League Central, for the moment, belongs to the Indians. Cleveland has won back-to-back division titles, but the Tribe have targets on their backs, and the Twins are coming. A huge win yesterday against the defending champs, thanks to Max Kepler's walk-off home run, ensuring the Twins another series win. Tonight begins the first of 4 against Chicago, a White Sox team that's young and hungry, much like the Twins 2 seasons ago. Years of rebuilding for the Southsiders are starting to take form, with many of their brightest prospects up and ready at the big league level. A great pitching matchup tonight. Lucas Giolito going for Chicago against Jose Barrios, who shut down the Sox at home a year ago. Twins baseball is next on Fox Sports North. A 3-hit shutout for Jose Barrios. To Marjama. Got him looking. Twins won a couple of ball games in a row, and now they look for Jose Barrios to get them back in the win column in his 3rd start of the year. Barrios, who picked up a win in Baltimore, took the loss here against the Mariners, even though he was starting out great, or he started out great, retiring the first 10 batters. Rick Renteria. And the White Sox had a very disappointing homestand. They lost 5 straight, finally won a 1-run ball game yesterday. They're not scoring a whole lot of runs. They're not playing particularly well in the field. They're not hitting with men in scoring position at all. So we'll see how this Menards batting order fares against Barrios here tonight. Yoan Moncada leading off. Avisail Garcia, Jose Abreu. Then it'll be Matt Davidson hitting cleanup. Then Nicky Delmonico, Yolmer Sanchez, Tim Anderson, Omar Narvaez, and Adam Engel.
And on the mound it will be Jose Barrios, making his 3rd start, just 23 years old. He's had very good success against the Chicago White Sox in the 4 previous starts. Very good earned run average. Here at Target Field, he's 2-0 against the White Sox. In 15 innings, he's allowed only 2 earned runs here. And the scouting report, he works quick, and on a cool night, that's what you want to do, your starter to do. We talked about the good numbers of the against the White Sox, and one thing he does a good job of, attacks the strike zone. Only one walk so far over the first 2 starts, covering 13 2/3 innings.
So the starting pitcher stats brought to you by Home Furniture. Here's the Twins defense brought to you by Northland Ford. Buxton in the middle with Rosario and Kepler flanking him. Then in the infield, Sano, Escobar, Dozier, and Bauer, and Jason Castro behind the plate.
Barrios with a good fastball, aggressive fastball. He'll throw about 65% of the time. Big sweeping breaking ball and a good changeup.
And a fastball fouled over the Chicago dugout. 1 strike. Yoan Moncada, among the several Chicago hitters, off to a bit of a slow start, particularly, as we said, with men in scoring position. And there's a belt-high strike.
And Moncada, one of those guys that we're going to talk about coming over to the White Sox via some trades that they've made. He actually came over from the Boston Red Sox in a Chris Sale trade over the winter of 2016.
Fouled away, and Barrios is gone. I think with fastball velocities of 92, 93, and 94, he's just warming up.
He's one of these young pitchers, wants to establish the fastball early and then mix in the big, hard breaking ball, which can be a strikeout pitch for him.
And there
like
it
that.
Is. And Barrios picks up an early strikeout.
And what that has very tight rotation. You saw the reaction of the batter kind of hold off a second because it looks like it's a fastball away, and then it just pops into the strike zone.
1 down, and now Avisail Garcia.
This guy ate up the Twins last year, but he really ate up the American League. It ended up hitting .330. He was second in the American League in hitting behind Jose Altuve. Guy that uses the whole field.
And strike 1 with a fastball.
Garcia, 27 years old, already in his 6th season in the big leagues. He came up with the Tigers in 2012 in his 6th season with the White Sox.
Breaking ball is spun back to the screen, and you can see a big improvement for Garcia, lending credence to something I think we've mentioned a time or two. Sometimes it just takes hitters 1,200 to 1,500 at bats to figure things out. There aren't many Bryce Harpers out there who seem to have figured it out from the time they show up.
Or the Mike Trouts.
Or the Mike Trouts.
Right.
Foul back, nothing but strikes for Barrios so far. 7 pitches, 7 over the plate.
Look at that, 74 games against the Twins. That includes games with the Tigers. Hit a .318 hitter.
And another foul. Two strikes to Garcia.
Garcia made the All-Star team, his first last year, representing the White Sox.
Another foul.
He took something off that breaking ball right there. Garcia fouls it off. It's a good breaking ball, good location. Garcia fouling it off, keeping the bat alive.
Nine pitches, 9 strikes. And the first one out of the strike zone, blocked by Castro. It's 1-2. Mentioned the White Sox had a disappointing homestand, having lost the first 5. They had 3 straight 1-run losses before they won a 1-run ball game yesterday with a late home run by Matt Davidson. So the record not all that great, but they've been involved in a lot of close ball games.
Yeah, White Sox playing their 12th game. Twins are playing their 11th on the season. White Sox are 4-7. Twins are 6-4.
And another breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Great battle here by Garcia against Barrios.
Pitch number 8 coming toward the plate.
And missing now, 3-2. With Abreu on deck. Garcia's yet to walk this year. He struck out 11 times. Bouncer to short. Finally, the at-bat comes to an end with a ground out, 2 down.
And believe me, if you're Barrios, you say, why couldn't he do that in the first couple pitches? Why do I have to throw this guy 9 pitches to get an out?
Well, let's check out the Pizza Ranch for the win.
Well, the Pizza Ranch for the win, rebound for Barrios. I think that's the key here tonight. You know, we talked about the shutout, the 10 consecutive outs he received against the Seattle Mariners, and then a couple hiccup innings. So that you're going to learn from that, and hopefully he has.
It's always good when Abreu comes to the plate with the bases empty. 2 down. And a fastball for strike 1.
Abreu in his 5th season with the White Sox.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Just a good hitter. His first 4 seasons in a White Sox uniform, a .301 hitter, 124 home runs. He's hit 3 home runs so far this year. Hit 33 last year.
And a foul ball. They got the home plate umpire. Castro looking back a couple of times to check with Nick Lentz. We don't believe he's any relation to Doc Lentz, do we? Was he actually a doctor? The Twins doctor?
He was our trainer. I don't know if we called him. We called him Old Doc Lentz, so I am assuming that he had a certificate.
Okay, I sure hope so for your sake. 2 strikes. Breaking ball left up high. He looked like a doctor. I mean, I remember seeing pictures of him. He had gray hair and glasses. And come to think of it, he looked a little bit like.
Remember the doctor on Gunsmoke?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot like him.
Okay.
Yeah. But he didn't carry a weapon.
That you know of.
Yeah.
Fouled away. Now that I think of it, he looked a lot like Laurence Olivier in Marathon Man, the dentist, and that wasn't a good thing at all. He never asked you whether it was safe or anything like that, did he?
Well, actually, back then we didn't try to go into the training room.
He tried to stay out of it.
We stayed out of there.
If you saw him coming, you walked the other way.
It was either him or you go see Wayne Hathaway. Think about it.
1-2. Swing and a miss. A good inning for Barrios. He faces just 3 men and strikes out a couple along the way. Here is the Menards batting order. Brian Dozier Dozier, Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, Eddie Rosario, Logan Morrison, Eduardo Escobar, Max Kepler, Byron Buxton, and Jason Castro.
And on the mound against the Twins, it'll be a right-handed pitcher, Giolito making his third start of the year, just 23 years old. So a couple youngsters going at each other here tonight, making just his 14th major league start, as you see his numbers.
Starting pitcher stats brought to you by Home Furniture. White Sox envision Giolito being at the top of their rotation, at the top of a very good rotation. He, like Barrios, not a finished product yet, but a very high ceiling for Giolito. Strike, I beg your pardon. And it is not Nick Lentz behind the plate. Nick Lentz is at second. Tony Randazzo is behind the plate. We had an umpire realignment.
You see the scouting report just getting started. I said just 14th major league start. Control has been an issue. He's had a lot of walks, and the fastball control just isn't there, as you saw that fastball run in on Brian Dozier. And you mentioned it, Dick. This is kind of an ace in working progress. They like his arm, they like his stuff. Basically fastball, very good curveball, and a changeup.
Missing inside, it's 2-1.
And it's the curveball that we've been told that he's had trouble with his first couple starts. They also have been playing in cold weather. He's had a tough time gripping that curveball.
Popped up, just over our heads.
There's a lot over our heads.
Two and two to Dozier. Mauer and Sano will follow. Lifted foul down the right field line.
Giolito at 6'6", about 255. He was a Washington Nationals #1 pick back in 2012 out of high school out in Southern California. Traded to the White Sox from the Washington Nationals in the Adam Eaton trade.
Right side, and Moncada gives way to Abreu, who makes the play in the outfield grass. One down. The White Sox out in the field, brought to you by Northland Ford. Nicky Delmonico's in left, Adam Engel in center, Avisail Garcia in right, and an infield of Sanchez, Anderson, Moncada, and Abreu with Narvaez behind the plate.
Yeah, Brian looked like he got jammed a little bit on that high breaking ball to pop up for the first out.
And now Joe Mauer entering the game with 1,998 career hits. Down and away, ball one.
Now we're hitting at 387. 4 doubles. He's driven in 3 runs.
Strike.
One thing the White Sox under pitching coach Don Cooper trying to get Giolito to do is don't try to overthrow. He can get that fastball in the upper 90s, but they want him to kind of back off a little bit and worry more about hitting his spots.
Outside. And it's 2-1. We showed you the outfield alignment. The infield playing Joe pretty much straight up, although Moncada's in short right field. But there's nobody into the right field corner.
We see that every time a club comes in, the defense they put on Joe Mauer.
I think it was against the White Sox last year where Joe hit a ball right over the pitching rubber, right over the second base bag, and the putout was recorded in straightaway center field by the right fielder. 3-1. takes ball 4, and for Mauer, his 10th walk of the season. So yeah, he's picking up a lot of hits. He's got a dozen of those, but he came into the game with an on-base percentage of .525.
And for Giolito, that is it's his 8th walk in 12 innings.
Here is Miguel Sano. Got yesterday off, struggling making contact. 36 at bats, 20 strikeouts. He's put the ball in play, if my Minnesota elementary math is correct, just 16 times.
Very good.
And he has 9 hits. Pitches up, ball 1. It's the addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. That was, as you've admitted, California high school math. Here in Minnesota, we covered that in like 4th or 5th grade.
Well, you guys are really smart here.
1-0. And outside 2-0. Sano's drawn 5 walks, so .250 batting average in the 5 walks has upped his on-base percentage to a respectable level, .341, even with all the strikeouts. Up the line, foul, 2-1.
Giolito last year, since he got traded over from the Washington Nationals, he was basically the whole season down in AAA, and then in August they gave him a call-up, and his first start as a Chicago White Sox was against the Twins. And his mound opponent that day was Jose Barrios. Excuse me, Kyle Gibson was his mound opponent. He gave up 3 home runs in that ball game.
Lifted to right center field, to the gap and deep, and off the wall, and it looked like it may have hit Garcia. Mauer will be held at third on a double off the bat of Sano. An example in its own way of how powerful he is, because when that ball left home plate, it looked like it was a routine fly ball. It just kept carrying.
You know, and Joe Mauer had to kind of hang around second base because the way that Garcia was going after this ball in right center, he kind of looked like, okay, I got a chance to maybe leap up and catch this, but it hit off the wall. So Joe makes it over to third, and for Sano, his 4th double.
Rosario, the batter. Corner infielders are even with the bases. Rosario with a 3-run triple in the ball game yesterday, part of an 8-run 4th inning. The foul, 1 strike.
Yeah, last time these two guys met, Rosario hit one of the 3 home runs. He had a 2-run home run off of Giolito.
One strike to Rosario. Hit hard on 1 hop right to Abreu. Now they got Sano trapped off second. It's a double play. Sano went towards third, but Mauer was frozen because the ball got to Abreu so quickly.
came running down to the end of the dugout and asked Molitor, how many is that? And Molitor told him 2 more. 2 more to 2,000. Just keeping track there. The weather forecast is causing a few issues, thinking potentially the Twins next week, regardless, are scheduled to have Monday and Thursday off on either side of those Puerto Rico games. But if they have limited games they can play this weekend, Molitor said they might have to think about scheduling some workouts, concerned about pitchers who aren't throwing and hitters who aren't getting regular at-bats. And on Friday, that starter for tomorrow's game will probably not be announced until sometime tomorrow. But Paul Molitor assured us, quote, we will have someone to pitch if we play. But he is not tipping his hand at all, guys.
Well, the forecast is not pleasant at all. Thank you, Marnie. In a nutshell, it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow and snow all day on Saturday. And then Sunday, it's supposed to be cold, but at least by afternoon, I don't believe there's supposed to be much precipitation. So we'll see how many games we can get in here in this 4-game series. 1 and 2. Check swing. Did he go?
Well, how did he lay off?
Yes, strike 3. 3 strikeouts early for Barrios.
Well, you know what? Barrios basically get ahead with a fastball, put him away with a breaking ball. So right there, that 9-pitch at bat by Garcia. You see all the different breaking balls. All of them start about middle in, work down and away. And finally, Garcia swings through one of his 2 strikeouts in the first and just struck out Davidson.
It'll be interesting if there is any weather issues this weekend, if there are any weather issues this weekend. TC holding the sign, thank you, Nikki. That's in reference to Delmonico hitting the walk-off home run against the Angels that triggered the Wild clubhouse celebration in Cleveland. When the Delmonico home run defeated the Angels, that meant the Twins had a wild card spot. So yeah, TC's holding a sign. Sentiment of a lot of Twins fans. Hey, thanks. And Delmonico, if he sees a sign, probably say you're welcome. Near the third base bag. So no, that's the catch. If we lose a game or 2 or 3 even this weekend, the Twins would have not an issue, I don't suppose, because I think they really want Barrios to pitch one of the games in Puerto Rico.
For sure.
But then if you take out tomorrow's game and Saturday's game, maybe Sunday's game, who knows, then you've got to sort things out and skip people to allow him, Barrios, to pitch in his home country.
Well, I think everybody in Puerto Rico is expecting Barrios to pitch those ball games. So, yes.
But then, what does that do to Kyle Gibson or,
Lance Lynn or
any
Odorizzi?
Odorizzi. 1 strike. And now a ball. And Barrios very much looking forward to going there, as is Eddie Rosario. Fouled away, and it's 1 and 2. 30th pitch coming up for Barrios, and Sanchez the batter with a 1-2 count.
And again, you see Rosario right there looking at how they want him to play defensively against Sanchez. He's playing pretty even up, maybe shading him a little bit toward the line.
We've talked about those cards, but it's got to be a challenge with all the information out there to condense the information into like 4 or 5 words, so the card can be pulled out, looked at real quickly, and put back in.
3 steps to your right, 2 steps back.
Getting warmer, getting colder. And a base hit to center field. A 2-out single for Sanchez.
Sanchez waited back nicely on that breaking ball and hit it right back up the middle. First hit for the White Sox.
White Sox have a base runner with 2 out. Now our Dairy Queen combination. And you can see Giolito and Barrios similar in age. Barrios has the edge in major league experience.
Here we go.
Tim Anderson, the batter. And a soft throw to first.
Anderson in his 3rd season. Last year, his first full season with the White Sox. Played 146 ball games. Very good speed out of that batter's box and on the base paths. He has 6 stolen bases in 6 attempts.
Fly ball right field, and Kepler tracks it and puts it away. A 2-out single does no damage. We're scoreless after an inning and a half. Party at XL Energy Center for Game 2 of the playoff series with the Jets. Doors open at 6 p.m. You can pick up your free "This is Our Ice" yard signs while supplies last. Admission is free, but fans are encouraged to make a food or monetary donation benefiting Second Harvest Heartland Food Shelf. Visit foxsportsnorth.com/events for details. Wild lost a tough one last night. Timberwolves won a tough one last night.
Congratulations to the Timberwolves going to postseason.
And Logan Morrison will lead off the Twins' second.
I watched that ball game from the tip-off to the end. What a ball game that was.
I was wearing out the remote. I was listening to some minor league baseball, and I was genuinely splintered last night. It was thank heavens the phone didn't ring. 1 strike to Morrison. Big pop-up straight up in the air. And in foul ground, the catch is made by Narvaez, 1 down. And that'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. Wasn't that long ago the White Sox were loaded with left-handed starting pitching. Of course, they had Mark Burley for a while. Chris Sale came along, Jose Quintana,
John Danks.
Yeah. They had plenty of lefties. Hector Santiago was with them for a while. Now they have an all right-handed rotation, as the Twins have an all right-handed rotation.
And Hector Santiago's still with them, but he's out in the bullpen.
Right. One of 3 lefty relievers they have. Up and in, ball 1 to former Chicago White Sox utility player Eduardo Escobar.
Escobar, 29 years old, signed with the White Sox as a free agent out of Venezuela back in 2006. Came over to the Twins in 2012.
Wanna know.
Go back inside.
Or tried to, and they got a strike on the outside corner. 1-1.
Looked like they wanted this little breaking ball inside, but it's about 6 inches outside.
And farther outside, 2-1.
You can kind of tell that Giolito right there. Yeah, he's got pretty good stuff, but it's the control issue that they'd like for him to get a little bit better. You see where that catcher was setting up on the last couple pitches, and he missed by a good foot or two.
Pop fouling out of play. Now I remember you as being somewhat of a control pitcher. You walked what, a little less than 3 per 9 innings, I believe.
A little over 2, yeah.
Yeah. But did you always have that when you were
Yes.
19 years old? You got called up, but you were able to throw strikes right away?
Yeah, with my fastball. Yeah, everything keyed off my fastball. And I was taught at a very young age that if I'm going to go inside, I miss inside. Go away, you miss away.
Not close to the strike zone, and it's a full count to Escobar.
But it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of bullpen time to do that.
Escobar's drawn 1 walk with 31 at bats. And he's just taken his 2nd walk, and it's the 2nd walk issued by Giolito. A couple of years ago, he had 3 home runs in a game, but yesterday Max hit 2 in the game.
Yeah, that 2-run home run that really set off the 8-run. That was the final 2 runs in that 8-run 4th inning, and then the game winner with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Max Kepler brought home the victory.
Here's Max Kepler with a runner at first and 1 out. As it was expressed to me, I think accurately and succinctly, that was a big win for the Twins because it would have been a really bad loss. You know, when you lead anybody, I don't care if they won the World Series or whatever, but when you lead somebody 8-1, you should win the ball game. You shouldn't give back a 7-run lead, but the Twins did that. Kepler managed to get him into the win column anyway.
Well, you play 162 ball games. The Twins will have games like that, but yeah, that was a nice win.
Into the right field corner and foul by about a foot. There's only about 3-4 feet of foul dirt down that right field line, and Kepler with a soft line drive found some of it.
Nice solid swing right there, and the ball had some hook on it. And about 2 feet foul.
And he cracked his bat in the process, hit it off the end of the bat, and has just popped out of the dugout with a new stick. I bet you that fire up on the Budweiser roof deck feels nice, huh?
Have you been up there?
Yes, once.
Yeah, it's
I'm
nice
kind of
too,
busy here, you know, like for games.
No, I meant just to kind of walk around
yeah.
the stadium. Yeah. Great seats. Look at the view. Kind of like our view in Pittsburgh. If we had moved the booth up there. Maybe in Washington when we were there playing the Nationals.
Very high at those 2 stadiums. Or a vantage point. Two and 1 to Kepler. Sharply and right into the shift. Anderson there to get the first hop, and he throws out the batter, Kepler. And the Twins have finished both the 1st and 2nd innings with hard ground ball double plays. TV game of the day. Pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Imagine I'll be using MLB TV to watch a ball game tonight as I unwind after this ball game. Here's Narvaez.
Narvaez in his third season with the White Sox. Pretty good hitter. 90 ball games last year. Hit .277.
Big swing and a foul. He got to pitch up. And Barrios was able to get a foul ball at 94 miles per hour. One strike. Just looking at the games played. I guess if I'm going to watch a game tonight, it's going to be the Giants Padres game. It's the only West Coast game tonight. Got the Padres out of Colorado after they had a bench clearing brawl, and then the Yankees and the Red Sox had one last night too. Nastiness between those Red Sox and the Yankees. 0-2. Strike three, and he knew it. One down.
And strikeout number 4 for Barrios. His second call, third strike. Going with a fastball this time. The other 3 on curveballs. Fastball 95.
Change up just 10.4% of the time, but it's still a good one. I think when you have the type of fastball that he has and the command of it, I mean, you're forever telling pitchers you got to have, you know, command of your fastball and establish your fastball, all that. He maybe does it better than most.
And he has good control of that fastball. You know, he's not that erratic with it. There's some time to time you're going to lose the release point a little bit, but I like where his thinking is, working outer half of the plate with that fastball like that right there. Coming from third base side of the pitching rubber. Coming at a little bit of an angle when you throw that ball down and away.
1-1.
There's his foot, and utilizing that pitching rubber as a starting block.
Bunt attempt and a strike.
Good curveball right there.
He made 14 starts in 2016, and control was an issue, even though it wasn't in the minor leagues. When he came up here, he averaged about 6 walks per 9 innings, and he did more than cut that in half last year. So as you saw, his numbers that should have been lower decreased last year. A lot of it was because he threw more strikes and didn't walk as many people. 2 down.
Well, you come up the way he did, you know, you're anxious, you're 21 years old, and you're excited. And another strikeout on a good breaking ball. Great location. Strikeout number 5. Engel goes down, the 9th man to face him.
That'll bring up Moncada. 40th pitch of the night for Barrios.
That's outstanding.
Fouled to the screen. By season's end, what Barrios did in his first start of the year in Baltimore might be the closest we see to a perfect game. He'd given up just 1 hit through 8 innings, and the hit was a little questionable. Ended up completing the shutout. But you look at the stuff, and if he stays healthy, you'd think he's got no-hitter stuff. He should get a no-hitter, if not a perfect game, at some point in his career.
I hope so.
Foul back.
A couple change-ups in a row. That one fouled off. All right, simple delivery. Get to the balance point. And you see the angle right there on that breaking ball.
1-2. Kind of called out on strikes on a breaking ball in the first inning. This time he gets him with a fastball. He strikes out the side in the 3rd. Jason Whitlock, weekdays at 4 p.m. Central, only on FS1. Byron Buxton to lead off the third inning. And Jason Castro, Brian Dozier, and perhaps a chance for Joe Mauer to hit here in the third as well. Twins have put base runners aboard.
Sanchez at third. He's creeping in a little bit.
And Buxton takes a fastball for strike one. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1-1. Byron telling me today he's looking forward to going to Puerto Rico. Has never been there. 1-1.
Get down
to short left, and that will die for a base hit. He won't be taking that bat with him to Puerto Rico.
That's okay. It went down with a base hit in it. Now the speedy Buxton at first base.
And it changes everything here now for the balance of this inning. The Twins have had base runners, but grounded into 2 double plays. Buxton has stolen 2 bases.
Kind of got jammed a little bit right there, but quick hands. Hit it softly into short left field.
Castro, the batter.
And with Giolito on a mound this year, there've already been 3 stolen bases against him in 3 attempts. See what kind of move he has at 6'6". Does he use the slide step, or does he bring that left knee up high? Slide step.
They call him out, and Byron says, "No, you'll take a look at that, please."
I think Anderson, he came up the line to get that ball, maybe tagged Buxton on the foot, but it sure looked like he had his hand on the bag. Byron going. This will give us a good look right here.
He never tagged him.
Never tagged him.
He never put the glove on him.
No.
And I think this angle will show that. Never touched him.
No contact.
And they'll take an early challenge again. Now, it worked out the other day, and I asked Paul about that today. You've got to be sure. In the ball game the other night, it was Brian Dozier's first at bat, the leadoff man in the bottom of the first, and the Twins took a gamble. You don't want to lose the challenge, of course, but it opened the inning for 2 runs. And Byron, who last year was, quotation marks, thrown out once all year last year, and it was on a play where he overslid second base. He wants to have a perfect year.
I think you hear the fans' reaction right there when they're seeing what we have shown you already on TV.
There's a couple inches of clearance between Anderson's glove and any part of Buxton's uniform. Safe. Stolen base. So Buxton's now 3 for 3. I think it was one of the spring training games I worked with you when we had Byron, and you get another look at the ball and the glove, but the glove never touches Buxton. We had Byron on, and I asked him about stealing and stealing early, and he said that's something he wanted to work on. And all 3 stolen bases, once the regular season have started, have been on the first pitch.
Yeah, I can see 27 consecutive stolen bases. That's a Twins record.
Castro took ball 1 on the pitch. The one thing we've not seen Byron do much yet, in fact, I can't remember him doing it, I'm guessing he has, is steal third base. This would not be the situation to do it. The old adage, you don't risk making the first or third out at third base. 1-1.
Castro's job right here, drive him in by pulling the ball somehow, get him over to third.
Castro takes a strike, and of course Castro strikeout prone as well. 8 strikeouts in 23 at bats.
Giolito does not have a strikeout yet. He does have a couple walks.
Down in the dirt. That's a nice block by Narvaez. Castro with just one run batted in, and it came on his solo home run in Baltimore. Pitch is high, and now it's 3-2 with Dozier on deck. A little surprised at this. Coming into the game, the Twins have drawn 40 walks. They've issued 51. I know the team has walked more than it normally has, but 3-2. Castro with a fly to center. Back his angle. He's got a good arm. Buxton's got two good legs. And the throw is offline. Buxton advances one away.
Well, angle out in center field. He set up perfectly, but remember, it's cold. You may not get a good grip on that baseball, especially your defensive players.
That might have been what happened there. It looked like his throw sailed on him.
Yeah, take a look. He gets behind the ball, sets up, makes a good, strong throw, but it's offline. And it allows Buxton to get to third base. So Castro, in a roundabout way, does his job.
See if the Twins can get something out of this. They had a threat in the first, second, and third, one out, and then the weird double play. Now Buxton in third, one out. Infield in for Brian Dozier. The line foul, one strike. Pitches up, 1-1. The White Sox have struggled with men in scoring position. The Twins haven't exactly executed very well in that category either. Dozier. Buxton will try to score. Anderson's throw gets by the catcher. Dozier will advance to second. Buxton leaving on contact, and he scores the first run of the game. Anderson looked like he threw a sinker to the catcher.
Well, that's what speed does to a middle infielder. Even though the infield was in, Buxton was going on contact. So Anderson feels it properly, but he hurries his throw home and short hops the catcher, and it gets by him. So right there you see Buxton, good throw, probably gets Buxton, but the throw short hop. So it'll be a fielder's choice RBI for Brian Dozier, and then Anderson getting the air.
Whether the throw didn't even hit Byron's foot before it got to the glove of Narvaez. Now Dozier at second. It's 1-0, and Mauer at the plate. He drew a walk, got as far as third base in the first inning.
And Dozier picking up his 6th RBI.
Outside, ball one.
And he's at second base.
Buxton got the blue pit, stole second, advanced to third on a ball where not many guys would even try to advance, but because of his speed, he could. Then the contact play, the ball hit right to the shortstop, and he scores anyway. One and 0 to Mauer. And now 2-0. There's Paul Molitor today with all this talk about Joe Mauer and his 2000th hit. We all remember Paul's 3000th hit, but I said, what do you remember about your 2000th hit? And he said, I don't know when it was, who it was against. So I looked it up. It was a July 30th, 1991 against a pretty good pitcher, Brett Saberhagen.
Saberhagen with KC, Kansas City. That's where he got his 3,000 hit, in Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Saberhagen, I know he went to the Mets. I think Kansas City was the only American League team that Saberhagen pitched for.
I believe so, yeah.
Mauer 2 hits away from the 2,000 hit milestone.
Make it 1.
1 hit away, and it's an RBI single to center. 1,999, and it produces a run to make it 2-0.
Well, Mauer picking up his 4th RBI of the year, scoring Brian Dozier for the 2nd run.
It's a lot of hits. And he needs 1 more for number 2,000.
Good solid swing. Ball left about thigh high. Joe taking it right back up the middle.
And that'll bring Sano to the plate. Sano doubled off the scoreboard in right center field and then was doubled off at second base on the Rosario ground ball. Hanging breaking ball there, but took it for a strike. Foul, and it's 0-2. He's getting a couple of runs here in the 3rd, only 1 out. Very high, 1-2. You know, that's one thing we've noticed from Giolito. It's one thing to misfire and not throw as many strikes as you should, but when he misses, they're not competitive pitch. I mean, they're not close to being in the strike zone.
A little erratic, and that's what they have to have patience with this young man with.
Half swing, but strike 3, and Sano is out number 2.
A hard breaking ball. Giolito picking up his first strikeout.
Rosario hit a hot ground ball on 1 hop to Abreu. Went to the bag. Sano started towards third base, but there was nowhere to go because Mauer was stuck, unable to score on the hard ground ball. They ended up throwing behind Sano and getting a double play.
Great photo there for that young man, the TC.
Low, ball 1.
Giolito's first start came in Kansas City back on the 31st of March. He had a quality start, got a no decision, and in his last start in Chicago against Detroit, he gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3 innings, ended up getting the loss.
And fielding another fairly hard hit ground ball is the second baseman Moncada. Twins get a couple of runs. The most notable hit, Joe Mauer's career hit number 1,999. deep forests of pine and birch dotted by thousands of lakes where wolves still howl, loons call out across the water, bringing out the outdoorsy spirit in anyone. Find endless ideas for the perfect getaway at exploreminnesota.com and share your favorites with #OnlyInMN. Now that's beautiful. There, Lake Superior, gorgeous. We were up there on the caravan, went to the Split Rock Lighthouse with Eddie Rosario, and it wasn't quite as
scenic.
Well, I guess a different kind of scenery, but it just was bitterly cold. And I give Eddie Rosario and John Curtis, who flew up from Texas to join us on the caravan, for seeing that beautiful but cold part of Minnesota. One strike to Garcia and a chopper foul.
Good pitch right there inside. After a lot of breaking balls in his first at bat, you want to show that you will go inside, and he did right there. Garcia having a 9-pitch at bat in his first at bat before he grounded out.
Hit him in the hand. Garcia is, as they call, or they say, a diver. You look at where his head is as the pitch is being delivered and where it ends up.
That's not that far off the plate inside. Look where Castro wants it, and the ball's basically going to the glove. Garcia, who doesn't give away much, you know, he wants to go out and get that corner. Gets hit like on the left hand.
Thankfully, it looks like he's all right. Getting a hug from Joe Mauer. See, that's the way people should conduct themselves on a baseball field.
Really?
Respect, admiration, comfort. None of this, you know, Red Sox, Yankee, you know, bench clearing brawls.
I liked it myself.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. Shows people care.
Swing and a miss. Well, now, when you transition to the broadcast booth, though, I mean, you found things to be much more calm and peaceful,
No,
right?
I really want to beat you up. I was just kidding.
I mean, one time, I got a dirty look from Hawk Harrelson, but it never amounted to anything, you know? One strike to Abreu. They should be able to get two. One, and Abreu falls down as he's leaving the batter's box, and let's hope he's all right. And he appears to be okay. I'm not sure what happened. He may have tripped over his bat. It is a double play, 2 down.
Let's take a look right here. Ground ball to short, and you see, yeah, he tripped over his bat. So a little 6-4-3 double play. And that double play, the first double play that Barrios has had turned behind him, this being his 3rd start.
You watch a game, you typically watch the ball, and we were all watching the ball hit to short, then the flip to the second baseman, wondering whether the second baseman's throw was going to beat the runner. And there was no runner. He was on his back on the grass between home plate and the mound. 1 strike to Matt Davidson.
Davidson with that power. See the shift the Twins put on him.
Pop up. Short center. Buxton comes in, and another good inning for Jose Barrios.
They went to overtime against the Denver Nuggets. It was electric. It was sold out. It was everything you'd expect the final game of the season to be. Cat, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, they're going to the playoffs. Big play by Taj Gibson. A handful of Timberwolves players, or a handful of Twins players went over to that Timberwolves game last night. I mean, it's right across the street. Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, Logan Morrison, Max Kepler. And Escobar was telling me today that he thought it was really, 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 really awesome. That's 4 reallys, to be clear, and that his heart was pounding because of how tense the game was. And Brian Dozier said he just loved the atmosphere and how fans were basically hanging on every play. But it was perfect. Walk off the Houston Astros here at Target Field, walk across the street to Target Center, and watch your new favorite basketball team make the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you, Marty, from the camera well, I believe, again.
Morrison drives into the left field corner, and Delmonico running after it. That ball's fouled by about 3 feet.
You know, just watching it at home like I did, you could hear the noise factor. I mean, it had to be almost like 87 or 91, you know, inside the Metrodome. I mean, I know it's half the size, but my goodness, all the white hankies and the way that the noise was. Good for the Timberwolves. Congratulations again.
That play, that strip by Taj Gibson.
Yeah, it was outstanding.
Was tremendous.
Yep.
In a key spot, you don't know what's going to happen. The shot might come up from the corner, and the Nuggets go to the playoffs instead. 1-1 to the leadoff man here in the 4th, Logan Morrison, then Escobar and Kepler. And up high, now 2-1. Don't know what to make of the fact that Morrison, is being shifted by everybody, is getting some foul pops down the left field line, a lot of them. And I don't know whether that's an attempt to try to hit the ball to the opposite field. Takes away, and it's 3-1. Morrison fouled out to the catcher his last time up.
I know Morrison has the power and everything, but you know, with the shifts that they put on, especially leading off an inning, we'll see Joe Mauer once in a while lay down the bunt. You know, things just aren't going right now for Morrison. Why not try it? Lay it down.
Foul tip, 3-2. Well, as we've said before, it's not just the hits you're not getting by hitting the ball to that side. It's like the ground ball Max Kepler hit in the 2nd inning. That ball was smoked up the middle, but because of the shift, it was a double play and not a base hit. So there are 2 benefits to doing it. Eventually, you'll get the other team out of the shift and open up more of the infield on your pull side or up the middle. 3-2 to Morrison. And he takes ball 4.
It's a 3rd walk for Giolito.
Fox Sports supports the Minnesota National Guard and all of America celebrate the month of the military child, and we're encouraging military families to submit a photo depicting what it's like for your child to be in a military family. For details and criteria for photo submission, visit foxsportsnorth.com/events. Here's Escobar, walked his first time up. There's Rick Renteria, 2nd year as the White Sox manager, managed for a year on the north side of Chicago.
Well, he's got to have a lot of patience. You know, he had to show it last year when the White Sox were 67 and 95. And they're rebuilding again this year.
You know, the White Sox, I think, are perceived their own promotion of being closer or farther along in the rebuilding process than, say, Detroit, and that they're hoping to accelerate the rebuild and all that. 2 strikes to Escobar. He got a piece. And as someone who watched, you know, a series of bad seasons, that's a little risky, because the fans have bought in, I think, to the White Sox rebuild and the tearing down and rebuilding. And the last thing I think you'd want to do as an organization is build their hopes up too early. It'll happen, I think, because they've got good players. This one lifted down the left field line, and Delmonico makes the catch, one away. You want to build hope in your fan base, I understand that, but the players will tell you when they're close to turning the corner.
Well, I think they talked about the offense. The offense, I think, is going to be there. It's going to be how good the pitching staff is. How will these young kids like Giolito develop throughout the summer?
But I think we've seen, haven't we, recently here, that sometimes it takes pitchers a long time to develop, and they can have all the stuff in the world and the best instruction in the world, but
that's why I like what the Twins did. Went out and got a Lance Lynn and a Jake Odorizzi, two guys that have already gone through that.
Kepler hit the smash up the middle, and he hit the ball right where Anderson is standing right now, which is on the first base side of the second base bag. There's Odorizzi. And the White Sox trying to take the bunt away with Sanchez about 40 feet off the line. Half swing. Did he go? No, says third base umpire Tim Welke. No rainouts today, but a rain-shortened game in Cleveland. The Indians beating the Tigers 8-3, and they've got an interesting situation at Fenway Park. Rick Porcello has a no-hitter through 5, and the tarp is on the field at Fenway Park. So it is an official game, but it would not be an official no-hitter. Popped up, backing out of play. Unless or until Porcello goes back out if the game is resumed and finishes a no-hitter. Remember that Dean Chance had a 5-inning no-hitter in the record books for a long time, and then about 4 or 5 years ago they said, no, we're not going to acknowledge those anymore. 2-2 to Kepler. Low.
I believe D. Chance had a 9-inning.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
He has one in the books.
Right.
I believe they were both in the same year.
It's kind of a fine line, and it's considered a complete game. It's after 5 innings, but it's not considered a no-hitter, even though he did not allow any hits.
Full count to Kepler. Morrison goes, and it is ball 4. Second walk of the inning, and a threat now because of Giolito's wildness. Buxton will come up with 2 men aboard.
I believe this is Don Cooper on his way out. First mound visit. Cooper, one of those gurus as far as helping pitchers get better.
Hoping he can continue to get Bruce Rondon's career turned around. The former Tiger fireballer had many issues with the Tigers. The White Sox picked him up, and so far so good.
Cooper, part of the Twins many years ago. Byron Buxton, little flare into right field, or excuse me, left field, and then taking off for second base. When we looked at this, he was called out, but then called safe. And then tagging up right there, getting to the third base on the fly ball by Castro. And then his speed on an infield hit. Anderson has to hurry his throw. Saw Anderson in an exchange from the glove to the ball. Didn't really get a good grip on that because of the speed of Buxton.
Inside ball 1. Just got word via Twitter that they have taken the tarp off the field at Fenway Park. It'll be a delay of about 47 minutes for Porcello, so he'll go back out there and try to make history. 1-0 to Byron Buxton. Two and 0. Buxton's walked just once.
See, I haven't really seen any consistency out of Giolito with his fastball. Even that fastball where he wanted it down and away, and he missed way down and in, or down and away.
A towering fly ball. Short center field. Buxton's retired for out number 2. And that'll bring up Castro.
Giolito, some Hollywood bloodlines. His dad, Rick Giolito, and his mother, Lindsay Frost, are Hollywood actors. Grew up in Southern California around a lot of movie stars. Had a scholarship to go to UCLA, but Washington Nationals drafted him at #1, so he went that way.
Here is Castro. Hit a fly ball to center his first time up. And on a couple of hops to Moncada. A couple of walks in the inning for the Twins, but Giolito strands the runners, and we head to the 5th with the Twins up 2-0. Money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. My device tells me it's 43 degrees here in Minneapolis right now. We'll take it. Kids enjoying the cotton candy and enjoying the ball game that's moving along at a pretty good pace. I'm sure the fielders appreciate that. Barrios, entering the 5th inning, has given up just 1 hit, a clean single by Yolmer Sanchez. He will hit behind Nicky Delmonico. Over the inside corner.
Throwing strike 1, 12 of 14 first pitch strikes for Barrios.
Breaking ball almost hit him. He'd committed to the swing, and the ball almost hit him in the chest.
Well, that's that tight rotation he has on that breaking ball. Looks like it's a fastball. The ball just darted down and in.
And on 3 pitches, Delmonico is put away on strikes.
And strikeout number 7. So he went back to the previous breaking ball that got strike 2.
Pitch replay brought to you by Jeep. 1 down, and now Sanchez. Young man is a very prideful man, and I know it was really upsetting to him that he was sailing along and then had some difficulty in the 4th and never got out of the 5th. So this is the part of the game where I'm sure he really wants to bear down and keep the momentum and give the Twins some length in his start tonight. Chipped foul. Sano near the tarp. As No play.
Brios pitched his shutout back on his first start in Baltimore because he had quick innings, and so far so good here in this ball game. He came in with 50 pitches, 19 in the first, then 13, 11, and 7. You need those 11 and 7 to get into the 7th, 8th,
Right.
9th inning.
But you're not going to do that if your strike percentage is what it was 2 years ago. You know, he throws it over the plate. Now he's got a reputation of being a strike thrower, and that's how you have quick innings. You got a devastating pitch like the breaking ball. There isn't a hitter in the world that wants to stand up there with 2 strikes. So yeah, swing away. Hopefully you'll run into something before it gets to 2 strikes.
He's thrown 6 pitches this inning, all of them strikes.
Did he go? No.
Bill Welke saying no.
.45 strikes, 12 balls. Missed with a changeup there.
Yep.
2-2. No walks, 1 hit batter. Hacked foul.
Brios making his 42nd start here tonight. 18 wins, 16 losses. 1 complete game, and that was a shutout in Baltimore.
Is that James Shields? I don't know.
Looks like it.
Another foul. .60 pitches for Barrios. He's gotten 13 outs. There are off days scheduled Monday and Thursday of next week, and we are frankly unsure about how much baseball we'll be able to play in this series. So the bullpen shouldn't be a bit of an issue, but yet Barrios would like to give the Twins at least 7 here.
Good
roller to
changeup.
second.
After 2 good fastballs that Sanchez fouled off, he threw him a changeup. Sanchez out front, create that ground ball out.
Friday, April 27th, it's University of Minnesota night at Target Field. A limited number of U of M theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and maroon and gold Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/U of M or call 800-33-TWINS. First with an exciting hire today, Lindsay Whalen. Be the new women's basketball coach, it looks like.
Congratulations to her. Rios wanting a new ball. Probably had a scuff on it.
I think he's smiling. He kind of short hop Castro. Catchers take enough of a beating. They don't need to be having balls banged against their wrists. Fastball off the plate, 2-0. Anderson thought, I can't hit the other stuff. Maybe I'll take it at the knees. 2-1.
Good fastball right there, and a fastball count, but it's a location. Look at that, lower part of the strike zone.
And a breaking ball missing. 3-1. And 1 to Tim Anderson. That's on the ground to third. Sano has it hit the bag and roll right up his arm. It'll be the second Chicago hit.
Yeah, I don't even know if Sano had been able to feel that, if he could have thrown out Anderson. He's very quick out of that box. But the ball just hugging the line. Sano playing deep. Ball hit off the bag. It will be an infield base hit. Second hit for the White Sox.
Anderson a threat to steal. White Sox looking to get something going here, and with 2 out, I would think there'd be a good chance that Anderson might take off here during the Narvaez at bat.
He has 6 stolen bases on the year in 6 attempts.
Not on the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Narvaez tried to tie the game with a big swing.
Big smile, you gotta love that. The hot dog man.
Very close at first, and Mauer looks into the dugout. Paul Molitor takes that left leg and pops it out. They're going to take a look at it. A snap throw, and as Joe caught the ball, his glove was in contact with the runner.
Let's take a look right here. Hard to see his hand, the right hand, if it got on the bag. This will give us a better view, but we don't see the tag.
I think he's out. He hasn't gotten to the bag until now. I think they're going to challenge it. Absolutely. Twins are on a good run of challenges here in this homestand.
I mentioned before, you know, when base stealers or guys diving back into the bag, they're not going to go in with their fingers. They're going to go with the palm of their hand. It looked like Anderson had a little slippage going back to the bag. Has 1 career pickoff, and Joe dropping the glove on the back of Anderson. I believe before he could get the palm of his hand on that first base bag. Watch the hand go up. I think Joe tags him right there,
and he's still inches from the bag.
Right.
Some warm-up tosses here during the delay. We think Anderson's been caught stealing for the first time.
Darryl Boston, the first base coach, standing there with Joe and Tim Anderson.
Musical selection here. Chaka Khan, Tell Me Something Good. That's what the fans here are hoping, that the safe call will be reversed. I'm surprised that it's taking this long, because it appeared on our replay that Mauer made contact with Anderson while his hand was inches from the base. And Barrios is, in an effort to stay warm, just continuing to take some warm-up tosses here.
Man, this is a little bit too long.
Yeah, it is, especially given the weather conditions.
Right.
I mean, everybody's standing.
Yep. Time for some jumping jacks, I think.
Can you do more than 6 now?
I don't know.
Well, this isn't going on entirely too long, and Barrios said, I'm not going to lose an inning's worth of pitches here just trying to stay warm.
Well, they want to get it right. They have a 50-50 chance. Let's go.
I can't for the life of me imagine why this is taking so long.
Here they go. They have a decision.
Wow.
Wow. Huh.
Call stands. I'm surprised at both the outcome and the delay.
Well, again, looked like the quick tag of Joe Mauer, just dropping it on the back.
Tag right there.
And Anderson has not gotten to the bag yet. Huh. Okay.
Dangerous hitter at the plate, Narvaez with 1 strike.
Now you have to refocus. It took 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
If the first base umpire, in this case Lance Barrett, if he had called Anderson out, then the call probably would have stood that way. But that's small consolation. Sure appeared from up here as if he was out. And now a ball, 1-1, and Anderson has occupied some of Barrios' attention here, but he remains at first base.
Well, with 2 outs right here, try to get the hitter. Don't worry about that much about Anderson. Make a good quality pitch here. There's 2 outs.
Fouled away 1-2. Anderson bluffed towards second and stopped. One and 2 to the Chicago catcher. There goes Anderson. And the ball dribbled to the right side. Barrios makes the play.
Make a good pitch. Don't worry about Anderson.
That is the inning. 5 shutout innings for Jose Barrios. Will lead things off for the Twins in the 5th. They'd like a little comfort here.
Wake up, wake up. Oh, okay. Back at it.
Giolito has had some control issues.
4 walks in a ball game, only 1 strikeout. Twins have only 3 hits.
Dozier takes up an in ball 1. One of them by Joe Mauer, who will be hitting next with a chance to pick up his 2,000th career hit. And a breaking ball and a strike, 1-1. cut off by Anderson. Low throw, and Abreu with a really nice pick at first. Anderson's had some throwing problems, and he had a low throw home, and now a low throw to first. And here comes Joe Mauer.
That's a heck of a defensive play by Abreu. Now the one hopper, I think it was out far enough to where he could do that. Nice play.
Mauer singled in a run in the third. 1,999 career hits. And low ball one. Some of the fans standing with their devices ready to take a picture. And on the outside corner, 1-1.
See, I have my camera ready. All right. But I'm going to wait till he gets 2 strikes on him, because he's going to get a hit with 2 strikes.
Prove him wrong. Get the hit here on a 1-1 count.
Nope,
there you go.
Oh, 2 strikes. Okay, now he's going to get the hit. Went inside.
One and 2 to Mauer. Got him. Down and in, a strikeout. And there are 2 gone in the 5th.
And Giolito picking up his 2nd strikeout. Went down and in.
Seen Joe strike out on that breaking ball down and in a few times this year.
I remember Verlander got him.
Yep.
That way.
That was more on a
hard breaking ball down.
Here is Sano, a double and a strikeout. And that first pitch breaking ball again, and Miguel takes it for a strike. Off the plate with a curve, 1-1.
I think the scouting report is out on Sano. Hard fastballs in on his hands, and then the breaking ball. 2 straight breaking balls right here to Sano. See if he can hang one.
Swung through it, and it's 1-2.
Giolito made quite an impression on the White Sox when he did come up in August of last year. 7 starts and an ERA of 2.38. 3 wins, 3 losses.
Big pop up left side. Eventually it'll come down to the glove of Anderson, and Giolito enjoys his best inning so far, setting the Twins down 1-2-3. for the year. He went through the entire season last year losing only one start, so he lost his game last night. And how about Toby Gardenhire and the Cedar Rapids Colonels? They're 5-0, looking for their 6th win so far on the season. Toby, the new first-year manager in Cedar Rapids, bunted in the air, foul, 1 strike.
Pretty good genes right there. Good for Toby.
His dad's got a 4-8 mark with the Tigers in his first year managing Detroit. Engel, Moncada, and Garcia against Barrios.
Engel struck out on 3 pitches and a couple breaking balls like that. What Barrios does, he does a good job of getting to that balance point. Everybody has to try to get to that point right here and then utilize the lower part of your body to explode toward home plate. Good fielding position.
Now, you've said that for years, and every year I go to the fantasy camp, and I still haven't found that balance point.
I don't see it. It's a fantasy.
There's no explosion either. There's nothing, none of that. 1 and 2 to Engel. Missed inside with a breaking ball. 2 and 2.
He tried to backdoor that breaking ball, started inside, just missed the inner part of the plate. Good
Belt high strike at 94.
After the breaking balls, that fastball froze Engel. Strikeout number 8. Again, the balance point, and then right there at the end, look at his arm come through. Nicely done.
1 down, and now Moncada. Dribble foul, 1 strike. Rick Porcello has his no-hitter through 6 innings at Fenway Park. Score of the game, by the way, is 6-0 Boston. Porcello's allowed 1 base runner. Giancarlo Stanton was hit by a pitch. Popped up down the left field line. And Rosario is there, out number 2. That'll bring up Garcia. If you're looking for a convenient ticket package that fits the demands of your busy schedule, the Flex Plan gives you a bank of 20 tickets to use during the season any way you choose. Go to 10 games with a friend, 20 by yourself, or 1 with 19 friends. Let's see, you could go 5 times with 3 other friends. You know the math. The Flex Plan gives you the flexibility to choose only the games you wish to attend all the way up until the first pitch. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/flex. 2 down in the 6th. Garcia hit by a pitch his last time up. Swing and a foul. Twins started the day percentage points ahead of the Indians. Both teams 2 games above 500, but the Indians won their game this afternoon against Detroit. Indians now 8-5. Twins trying to improve to 7-4. And now 2-1.
Yeah, good fastball in after Garcia got hit in his last at bat. You have to go back in there again. Don't let him dive.
Not a coincidence that the names on that list all played for American League Central teams.
Yeah, 19 times. Good breaking ball right there. 19 times the Twins will face a team in the Central Division.
But not many times early. Two and 2 to Garcia.
The back foot almost out of the batter's box. Matt Lawton always did that, remember?
Frank Thomas did that.
Yeah, but he was so big.
Nobody said anything.
Yeah.
You can still picture in my mind Tony Oliva first inning.
There he is. Now he's on the line.
With that left foot digging a hole right on the chalk line. Pitches up, fastball, and it's a full count with Abreu on deck. No walks for Berrios. One hit batter and 2 singles.
He's got 2 pitches here. Fastball, curveball. What's he going to throw right here?
Fastballs.
Throws him.
2 called third strikes, a 94-mile-per-hour fastballs, and another 1-2-3.
And strikeout number 9 for Jose Berrios.
Did that, and the Indians went on to beat the Tigers 9-3, and the Indians now have won 5 in a row, 4 of them at the expense of the Tigers. Eddie Rosario will lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Twins against Lucas Giolito. Very high, head high, ball 1. Aaron Judge broke up Rick Porcello's no-hit bid with a double in the 7th inning. Under the glove of Moncada, and Rosario gets a hit, and he's going to try for 2. Garcia's throw is offline. Great hustle by Rosario, and he's got a leadoff double.
Boy, you have to have those baseball instincts and do it yourself. You know, Jeff Smith, the first base coach, he really can't help him out right there. But what I think Rosario saw right here, first of all, he's happy he finally got it through the infield. But then he sees that Garcia has to go, and the way he went about his business, the throw offline, he took a chance right there, and he made it to second. So it's a double for Rosario, his 2nd of the year.
Maybe it's a risk that only another outfielder would take. You're standing out there, it's cold, tough athletic play for Garcia. He's a right-handed thrower, and he's running towards the line. He'd almost certainly have to spin and throw.
Which he did, and it was offline.
Yep. So good play by Rosario. He's in scoring position to lead off the 6th. Morrison, the batter. A short left center, and now Anderson retreating, and the catch is made by Delmonico, and Morrison's gone on one pitch.
I think we saw when Rosario took off to first base with about 5 or 6 steps, he put his hands up like, I got it through the infield, because the first time up, he hit it sharply up the middle, hit it in double play. Second time he hit it sharply, but to the second baseman.
Well, Morrison doesn't drive in the run, doesn't advance the runner, and now Escobar, who's walked and flipped a fly ball to left field, will hit next. At the knees, strike one. Giolito, even though he's had some control issues.
He's keeping the White Sox in the ball.
He sure is. And a swing and a miss. And Rosario scampers to third on a curve in the dirt. A wild pitch, giving Rosario 90 feet.
And a good base running by Rosario, being ready in case that ball is knocked away. Exactly what happened right there. Rosario watch the top of their screen. He's ready to go, and he does. Advances to third base. So a wild pitch is charged to Giolito.
Infield brought in now. Escobar behind in the count, 0-2. Almost to the backstop. And as Giolito broke from the stretch to deliver home, Sanchez, the third baseman, scampered toward third base like there may have been a play on. And a swing and a miss on that breaking ball. Needs to be a throw to first. And the throw is made. Rosario stuck at third base, 2 down.
Giolito picking up his third strikeout. You've seen Rosario on the base pass. He'll play that cat and mouse game with that pitcher.
Kepler in the batter's box, and let's go to Marty Gelder.
Where is she?
In the camera well, of course. Max Kepler hit that walk-off home run last night, and a lot of us saw the home run itself, but you may not have noticed this highlight. Watch Eddie Rosario. We're going right for that Gatorade jug, which is actually full of water, to get Max as he crossed home plate. And when I asked Eddie about it today, he said his first thought when Max hit the ball was to celebrate. The second thought was, we need the water jug.
Thank you, Marty. Twins waste Rosario's double. We go to the 7th. Still 2-0.
Camera well.
Jose Barrios has been very good again here tonight with 6 shutout innings, a couple of scratch singles, and a hit batter. He'll face Abreu, Davidson, and Delmonico in the 7th.
No walks for Barrios, 9 strikeouts in the ball game. He's thrown 83 pitches, 61 for strikes.
Fan there had a Puerto Rican cap on, and Barrios, of course, from Puerto Rico. Breaking ball, strike 1. His next start will be in Puerto Rico against the Indians.
Yeah, doing a great job again of attacking the strike zone. I said that in the scouting report. 18 of 21 batters he's faced, he's been able to get strike 1.
Bounced foul. And much like the Baltimore game where he pitched the entire game, he's got 85 pitches. That probably won't happen here
Did you
tonight.
say the entire game?
The entire game.
Whoa.
There was not a relief pitcher brought in at any time in that game.
Wow.
2 strikes to Abreu. But much like that game, there hasn't been solid contact. The hit, I think the first base hit by Sanchez may have broken his bat. Kind of a soft line drive to center, and then a slow bouncer up the line that hit the third base bag. And a strikeout of Abreu.
And strikeout number 10. Barrios is high in strikeouts in a ball game is 11. He's done it twice. The last time he did it was last year against the Chicago White Sox.
Last pitch brought to you by Carrier. And now Matt Davidson. Strikeout and a fly ball to center. Fastball burning the outside corner.
Another strike 1.
At 95.
Kids at home see this. You want to be a pitcher, you want to be successful, get strike 1. So much easier to pitch ahead in the count.
The comp we've used before regarding the breaking ball, it's very much like Corey Kluber's. It's a very late breaking ball.
Well, it's got to have tremendous spin on it. You know, we've seen hitters kind of buckle sometimes on that breaking ball that starts at him. But his best one is down the middle of the plate, and there's another strikeout. Number 11, that ties a career high. For the 3rd time, he has had 11 strikeouts in a ball game.
90 pitches.
This time he goes up the ladder with a fastball at 93. So the velocity's still there. And it should be. He's 23 years old.
2 down. Barrios struck out the side in the 3rd. If he can get Delmonico here, it'll be another 3 strikeout inning. Tying his career high 11 of them here tonight. Delmonico struck out his last time up.
Yeah, that was, remember Delmonico's last at bat, he threw him those 2 curveballs down and in. You said the second one almost hit him, but the 3rd one he swung through. So changeup here.
Nope.
Even the changeup, you see the little tail down and away. Has some movement on it.
Taken for a strike. And Delmonico in the back of his mind, maybe in the front of his mind, he's going, oh great, now I got 2 strikes against this guy again.
Is he going to throw that curveball down and in on me? That struck me out last time.
Delmonico survives for another pitch.
Number 95.
Ball to the screen, another breaking ball. Only once has he thrown 20 pitches in an inning. That was in the 5th when Anderson got his roller up the line for a base hit that hit the bag.
fastball.
Missed inside. 2-2. Just the 2 hits. No walks.
Three-two curveball.
Dozier can't pull it in.
Left it up, but that's
and it's
okay.
a 2-out single.
All 3 hits have come with 2 outs. So that's a 3-2 breaking ball. DeMonico gets his first hit. 3rd hit for the White Sox.
Sanchez will bat as the tying runner. On the outside corner.
Not a bad pitch. Just out of the reach of Dozier. Yeah.
So far this year, Jose Barrios has pitched 20 1/3 innings and walked 1 man. And now he'll face Sanchez with a runner aboard. Just off the outside corner with a changeup.
Presley looks like he's getting up in the bullpen. There we go.
Dozier to his right, flips to Escobar. That ends the inning. And Barrios has 7 shutout innings here tonight and a 2-0 lead.
With 11 strikeouts, Joe Mauer an RBI single on his 1,999th hit. The Twins lead 2-0 going to the bottom of the 7th.
And looking for some insurance, it'll be Byron Buxton, Jason Castro, Brian Dozier, and if somebody reaches, Joe Mauer will have another opportunity. With Buxton swinging through strike 1. Another opportunity to pick up his 2,000th big league hit. Buxton with a leadoff single, stolen base, the run you just saw for the first run of the game. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
And after the inning, Barrios walking off the mound. Don't know what's going to happen. High fives around. And when your manager comes up and whispers in your ear at 99 pitches, I think letting him know, thank you, young man. We'll turn it over to the bullpen.
Now, tell the truth. Chuck Tanner never whispered in your ear.
All the time. I can't tell you what he told me. It's a secret.
Tom Kelly never whispered in your ear.
Yes, he did many times. I can't tell you. It's a secret.
That's why he whispered. Buxton with another big pop-up, this one near the mound. Anderson calls for it. Second time that Byron's hit one way up in the air, but not very far, one down. And that'll bring up Jason Castro.
Great job by Barrios.
You know, the Twins fans who've been so patient and frustrated, frankly, in the pitching side of things for several years, they may finally have somebody that they haven't had since Johan Santana, a starting pitcher that they will want to buy a ticket to come see.
But I think, you know what, Dick, I again commend the organization for going out and getting a Lance Lynn.
Yep.
Even though you have him for 1 year, this guy has been to postseason. He knows what it's like. Also, you know, Jake Odorizzi, another one. So yeah, the starting staff is definitely improved. And Barrios a big part of that.
You know, but Barrios worked his way through the system, and Santana was involved in the Rule 5. You know, Scott Erickson was that way in 1991. I mean, they sold more tickets when fans knew Scott was going to pitch. Up and away, 3-0 to Castro. Frank Viola in his prime. You know, if you're going to go to a game, well, save your money and
Sweet music.
buy a ticket when sweet music was playing. Pitching. 3-0 to Castro. 0 for 2 with a fly ball and a ground ball. Takes a strike.
Tell you what, even though Giolito is down 2-0, he has pitched very well here. He's worked out of some jams early, settled down nicely. He's given up only 1 hit over the last 3+ innings.
Castro takes a strike, and it's a full count. The Twins have had opportunities to score more than 2 runs in the first inning. They had second and third 1 out, but grounded into a peculiar double play. Then Rosario got a leadoff double in the 6th, but only got as far as third base. 3-2 to the Twins catcher. There, ball 4. Castro finally takes his walk.
And Giolito went right after him, but he just missed with that fastball. His 5th walk of the evening.
Giolito over 100 pitches. And now Brian Dozier. And barring a double play, Joe Mauer will hit with a chance for his 2000 hit. On the outside corner, Dozier drove in a run on a ground ball to Tim Anderson with the infield drawn in. Buxton scored. Anderson's throw may have been kicked by Buxton to the on deck circle. Dozier went to second and then scored on Mauer's base hit. That was back in the 3rd inning. That is fair into the corner. Castro round second. Nice sliding stop by Delmonico. Now some problem in the corner, but he will be held. Castro will be held at third. Delmonico disappeared and didn't reappear for a while. But with Mauer up, Gene Glenn decided to hold Jason Castro.
And Rick Renteria out to top, or maybe take out his right-hander.
Might bring in Bummer, the left-hander, to face Mauer. And Giolito, give him credit. He struggled with his control a little bit, but as you aptly put it, he kept the White Sox in the game and comes out with the score just 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, even that pitch to Dozier right there, he didn't make many mistakes. He did right there, left that breaking ball up, and Dozier took advantage of it.
Mauer in the third inning. It was his 1,999th hit. And now hit number 2,000, if it comes in this at bat, might score a couple of runs. Aaron Bummer, one of 3 left-handed relievers.
There you go. I'm going to get Aaron then.
Had a terrible time getting out of the field. The bullpen door was jammed.
Yeah, what a bummer, huh? Bummer in his second season with the White Sox. 24-year-old left-hander. Signed by the White Sox out of University of Nebraska back in 2014.
Played for Darren Erstead there.
Yep. Made 30 relief appearances last year. 22 2/3 innings, 15 walks, 17 strikeouts. So little control issue. Bummer with a good fastball, slurve type breaking ball, and a changeup.
White Sox will bring the infield in. Joe's had 5 at bats against lefties. He has 2 hits. Down and away, ball 1. Mauer with a walk in the first, RBI single in the third, then went down swinging in the 5th. Swing, foul. So the White Sox try to rebuild. They figure Bummer is going to be a part of the rebuild. Nasty left-handed delivery. We've seen 94 miles per hour twice in this at bat. One and one. Fly left field and out of play. 1 and 2.
They're trying to join Kirby Puckett and Rod Carew in the 2000 hit club in a Twins uniform.
Herman Killebrew got over 2,000 going back to the Senators days, but pretty short list. Batting champions all. Kirby with 1. Rod Carew with 7. Joe Mauer with 3. One and 2 to Mauer. Struck him out. Or foul ball. I beg your pardon. I didn't see the foul tip, and the catcher Narvaez didn't hang on. So at least one more pitch here in this at bat. Nice. There aren't many people here, but self-generated. The crowd has started a "Let's Go Joe" chant. Blocked by Narvaez. Castro remains at third. 2 and 2. Joe's 2 for 5. He's also got 3 walks against lefties this year. Up the middle and through. It will score 2 runs. And the hometown kid reaches his milestone at home.
Joe Mauer acknowledging the crowd. Born in St. Paul, Minnesota native Joe Mauer got number 2,000.
Sano applauding as he steps near the batter's box. Mauer with 3 runs batted in on the night. Outside, ball 1. Right side corner 1-1. That's a big hit. Not just because it was number 2,000, but it doubled the Twins' lead.
Yep.
Swing and a foul. 1-2 to Sano. A double, a strikeout, and a pop-up. Missed inside, 2-2. Ryan Presley looks like he'll get the 8th inning.
Yeah, the 2-run score Giolito's line has done 4 runs on 6 1/3 innings.
So no foul tip, but strike 3. With home plate umpire Tony Randazzo saying that Narvaez caught the foul tip before it hit the ground, and no protest from Sano. 2 away.
Ball caught in the air. So Bummer picks a strikeout.
And now Rosario down, away ball 1. Brought up a good point after Rosario's double in the 6th inning. He finally got one through the infield. He's hit the ball hard on the ground 3 times tonight. Swing and a miss.
It was nice about it, and you mentioned it, Dick. You know, nice about Joe Mauer's 2,000 hit. It drove in 2 runs.
Yep.
You know, that's better than getting, you say, your, 2,000 hit with 2 outs and nobody on.
And if things play out the way the Twins hope, it'll be in a Twins win too.
Yep.
Milestones, as impressive as they are, they're subdued when they come in a loss. Outside, of course, you reach 2,000 and then you wonder how many more will there be. How long does Joe want to play? He's given no hints as to what his intentions are, what his hopes are after this year when his contract expires. Swing and a miss. And Bummer has some nasty stuff here tonight. He struck out Sano, he struck out Rosario, but Bauer connected for his 2,000th career hit, the 287th member of that exclusive club. After the third out, the teammates will bring the equipment to him. But look, nobody did it. They left Joe out there to absorb the embrace from the fans and from the dugout. Yeah, we'll bring it out to you.
A
Just
lot of hits.
hold on.
That is a lot of hits.
Good moment for a good man. Congratulations heading Joe's way on Twitter from Brian Dunsing, a former teammate, Phil Hughes. 4-0.
Ryan Presley out there to start the 8th inning and hopefully finish it. He's pitched well out of that bullpen so far this year, making his 6th relief appearance, 5 1/3 innings. He's given up 4 hits, 2 walks with 6 strikeouts. Yet to give up a run.
Bouncer to short. And Escobar slings it over to get the speedy Anderson one away. Let's go to Marty Gill.
Well, Joe Mauer picked up his 2,000th career hit, and it wouldn't be appropriate if there wasn't family in the stands. And so his parents, Teresa and Jake, are here, and even grandparents, Mike and Phyllis, who are here at almost every game, I'm told, right, Teresa? How exciting was that to see number 2,000?
Wow. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And to be at home at Target Field in front of these fans had to be even more special.
Oh, exactly. And before the storm came.
Yeah.
So perfect timing, Joe. Yeah.
And I watched at the end of the inning when Joe hugged a lot of his teammates, got congrats, and then he gave a big wave up here to acknowledgement.
Yeah, he does. He usually does to his grandparents. Just to let them know, hey, I see ya.
You see ya. Hey, Grandpa Mike, can I just ask you about that? How exciting was it for you to be able to watch number 2,000 tonight? Grandpa Mike just gave a big thumbs up. He's at a loss for words. We're excited up here because there were a lot of people, and then they saw the TV microphone and figured a camera was going to be up here, and everybody scattered. But a lot of cheers coming from the Mauer family here tonight, guys.
Well, great family, and Jake and Teresa proud of all 3 boys. And,
yes.
And big moment for Joe here tonight. 1-1. Narvaez.
Well, we all knew he was going to get it just sooner or later. And, you know, with the weather, the way it's going to be over the next 2 or 3 days before the team heads to Puerto Rico, I'm glad Joe did it here at home in front of his family and friends.
1-2. And there was a little bit of pressure on to get it done at home. Paul Molitor knows about that. Remember when he was approaching 3,000 hits. Paul didn't have the best of homestands. There was some hope that he'd be able to get number 3,000 at the Metrodome, and it didn't happen. He ended up getting a couple of hits in Kansas City the next night. It's not as much fun when you can't do it in front of your family. You know, Paul, like Joe from St. Paul. Dave Winfield did it at home, got his 3,000th hit against Dennis Eckersley. 1-2. With Presley trying to tie up a Twins win, their 3rd in a row. And foul over the Chicago dugout.
Ryan coming in and throwing strikes as Barrios did. 7 pitches, 6 over the plate.
On the ground weakly. That's Escobar. Over to Mauer, 2 down.
Well, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Well, let's put an asterisk on that. If the Mauer family wants to disseminate it, we ought to let them. If they want to rebroadcast it, retransmit it, we ought to let them. Right? We can make exceptions, can't we?
I don't know. They'd have to contact the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Here's Adam Engel. Well, we should mention that Ryan Presley has been outstanding so far this year. He's been given 7th and 8th innings, and he's been much more efficient than we've ever seen him pitch.
Well, they did a lot of work. I know Garvin Alston worked a lot with him in spring training about just getting that upper torso going toward home plate. The strength is there, the arm is there, but he has a tendency sometimes to fly open and his head fly back. So a lot of work by that man right there, not only with Ryan but the whole staff.
1-1 to Adam Engel.
And so far it's paying off. Good
Breaking ball.
Just frozen.
If you can throw that pitch there, no one's going to sit on that and hit it anywhere.
Well, he's got 4 pitches. You know, one time I know in the Boston organization they thought he was going to be a future starter because he has a good fastball, overpowering fastball. You just saw the curveball. He's added a slider, an occasional changeup.
98. And Engel got a piece of it.
Well, after that curveball, not going to sit on curveball. Okay, hopefully you give me a fastball. He fouled it off. Let's see what he throws here. Ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shaking off.
Another breaking ball, lifted foul.
Well, more the slider. Ryan in his 6th season with the Twins, 29 years old. Rule 5 player out of the Red Sox organization by the Twins over the winter of 2012.
He was back then what Tyler Kinley is this year. And if the Twins can get through this top of the 8th and maybe add some runs in the bottom of the inning, Kinley might get a chance to pitch for the 2nd time. Gabriel Moya hasn't pitched much. Another 96-mile-per-hour fastball fouled to the screen.
Ryan born in Dallas, Texas. Got him.
A 91-mile-per-hour slider or cutter. Engel had no chance.
I'll be there. Not.
Now it's a 4-0 ball game, and Logan Morrison will lead things off here. And a new Chicago pitcher, and he's a big one.
Chris Volstead coming in at 6'8", just getting activated, just called up from AAA, his contract purchased. Got a lot of major league experience. Volstead, 31 years old, came up with the Marlins in 2008. Also has pitched for the Cubs, the Rockies, the Pirates. Pitched last year for the White Sox, became a free agent, re-signed with them.
1-1. Morrison's popped the ball in the air twice and drawn a walk. Big fly, foul into the seats. Morrison turned his career around last year, really developed into a power hitter because he increased his launch angle. And he's had plenty of that, just not much distance. He's hit a lot of balls in the air. Late in the Houston series, looked like he was hitting the ball on the line a little bit better, a little harder in the dirt. To the backstop, 2-2. One hopper into the shift. Anderson's there. He throws him out. One away. Might have cracked his bat in the process. Today's Sanford Health Injury Report. We mentioned that the White Sox are all right-handed in the rotation because Carlos Rodon has had some shoulder issues. And he's been on the disabled list now 4 times in his career. And a lot of potential in that left arm if they can keep him healthy. And Escobar will reach safely with Moncada kind of playing that side saddle kind of casually, and he kicked him with the thumb of his glove.
Yeah, you'll find out. He's still young. You got to get in front of that ball right there, kind of let the ball play him, and the ball got behind him, and Escobar saw it, and he hustled out of that batter's box. It'll be an error. Second error for the White Sox here tonight. They have now 8 on the season.
That'll bring up Kepler. Bounced into a double play, walked and lined out to center.
Well, they don't give him an error. They give him a base hit. Escobar says thank you very much. Okay.
That was a shoulder high hop, wasn't it? About?
Yes.
On the glove side?
Yes.
1 strike.
Seen some funky officiating, not only here but also on the road.
A couple of games ago, after the game, Miguel Sano was given a hit. Remember the play if you were watching. Little squibber, and Dallas Keuchel came off the mound, ended up missing the ball and stepping on it in the grass, and then after review they gave Sano, was originally charged an error, they gave Miguel a base hit. Taken low, 1-1 to Kepler.
And we started the season in Baltimore. I'm surprised they have any errors throughout the summer. Everything that is booted is a hit.
And because of that, I still maintain that there was a chance that in the final game of that series, Barrios was pitching. I still maintain if the double between Rosario and the wall had remained the only hit, that the Twins might have sent that in for review. And I checked with Paul Molitor today, and he said, yeah, had that been the only hit, they would have sent the video in and say, hey, what do you think? And it might have been the difference between a great ball game and a shutout, or a no-hitter or a perfect game.
I don't know. I'm going to go with Rosario. That's a tough play. It wasn't like he was sitting on the warning track.
No, and I put it in my book as a double.
Yeah, he went back, and he had to turn. He got turned around a little bit because of the flight of the ball, And it got behind him.
But the team can submit it for review, expecting that it won't be overturned. Just give it a shot. Be a weird way to have a perfect game to find out 2 days later.
Well, you have a no-hitter, yeah.
1-2 to Kepler. Kepler, a little pop-up short left. Delmonico in, and he will make the call and the catch for out number 2. CenturyLink what's next, and truth be told, we have no idea. We don't know if we're going to play. Ronaldo Lopez will make the start if we play tomorrow against someone. That's all we've been told. And then Miguel Gonzalez on Saturday, if we play, will go against Lance Lynn. Carson Fulmer Sunday against Jake Odorizio. The 3 days, the best chance of playing a game will come on Sunday. Because as we said, it looks, the forecast is for rain all day tomorrow and snow all day on Saturday. Down and away, ball 1. Buxton has gotten a base hit, a little jam shot to left, and then he's hit towering pop-ups each of the last 2 times.
I remember he stole a base too and later scored. His 27th consecutive stolen base. His 3rd of the season.
Manfred has had a busy day behind the plate. To Buxton. 3-0.
Olstead, 31 years old, as I mentioned before. He was a Florida Marlins #1 pick back in 2005. Palm Beach Gardens High School in Florida.
Boy, it might get a chance here in the 9th inning with the score 4-0. And foul. Jacket. He'll put it on now.
A clean 1, 2, 3/8.
3-1. There goes Escobar, and it's a called strike. And Escobar steals second, and now will advance to 3rd. Twins trying to run the bases here in the 8th inning. Add some insurance. Escobar has a steal, and there will be an error on the throw.
Yeah, it'll be the first stolen base for Escobar. And the Twins are perfect, 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts this year.
And the error should be on Moncada. The ball is thrown right to him. Are you kidding me? They put the error on the catcher? The ball was thrown right to Moncada.
I think the official score likes Moncada.
Full count to Buxton. How is that not an error on the second baseman?
How is Escobar's infield base hit not an error?
Moncada should have 2 errors in this inning, yes. Full count to Buxton. And he takes a walk. Now, Moncada jumped about a foot in the air.
Yeah, ball's got to be caught.
There's no reason for him not to catch it. Here is Castro with runners at 1st and 3rd. Castro walked and scored his last time up. Buxton stole a base after his single in the third. And keep an eye on him here. If you're going to steal Escobar earlier this inning, you might want to try to steal Buxton as well. Buxton drawing just his second walk of the season. Buxton stays put, the pitch up high.
Well, if Buxton decides to take off, I'd be surprised if there's even a throw to second base. Keeping an eye on Byron over at first.
Escobar at third. Strike over the inside corner. Couple of runs for the Twins in the third, 2 more in the seventh. For at least 1 more here in the eighth. Buxton goes, and the pitch fouled away.
Had a good jump right there.
Another 1-2. Buxton goes again. Another good jump. There will be no throw. He was held on, so he'll get credit for yet another stolen base.
After Byron his 4th and his 28th consecutive stolen base.
Two and 2 to Castro. And now a full count with Dozier on deck. Volstead not really very efficient here. He's thrown 20 pitches, 22 pitches, 12 strikes, but he should be out of the inning. If Moncada makes the play on Escobar's ground ball, he's got a 1-2-3 inning. Fouled away. '28 straight. 2 tonight. 4 on the year. Fastball got Castro. And finally the inning ends. The Twins strand 2. They will take a 4-0 lead to the 9th inning. Twins in search of their 3rd straight win, 7th on the year in 11 games. And it will be Gabriel Moya coming in to try to pin things down here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, it's been a while for Moya to be on that mound. He pitched last Saturday when Barrios started against the Seattle Mariners. He worked an inning and a third through 30 pitches, 16 for strikes, a walk and a strikeout. Did not allow a hit or a run.
As Marty said earlier, there's some concern about the weather, of course, whether the games will be played. Even in San Juan Tuesday, they're saying there's an 80% chance of rain. So the Twins are trying to keep pitchers and position players eventually as fresh as they can in the event we lose a game or 2 or 3 this weekend. So this is an important outing for Moya.
Well, one thing that I know Eddie Guardado has tried to help do to Moya is stop all the herky-jerky that he's doing on the mound. So trying to get him to get to that set position a little quicker and not do all of the things that he does to get ready to throw.
First man he faces, Yoan Moncada. Over for a strike.
Moya in his second season with the Twins made his major league debut September 12th of last year. Appeared in 7 games in relief.
Changeup hits the outside corner.
Got a good changeup. Saw the fastball at 90, then he pulls the string. Mixes in a slurve type breaking ball. Just 23 years old. Out of Venezuela.
Fastball down the middle, got him. And Moncada stares at 3, 1 away.
3rd time that Moncada has struck out here. Fastball right down the middle of the plate.
1 down, and now Garcia. You look at the White Sox scores, and we talked about the 3 straight 1-run losses. But the White Sox have really had a tough time scoring runs. They got a couple on a late home run from Davidson to win a ball game yesterday. But they've lost by scores of 6-1, 1-0, 4-2. Here is Garcia. 0 for 2 is hit by Barrios' pitch back in the 4th inning. Big swing and a miss at the changeup.
Good changeup there.
That's the thing, in a different way. We've tried to suggest that there've always been components to Ryan Presley that would lead the Twins to believe he could be what he may have become this year, a kind of a dominant setup guy. Well, you see components with Moya too. He just doesn't have the seasoning, the experience. That changeup, I mean, hardly ever does anyone make solid contact with it.
Oh,
that was solid contact on the fastball.
Wow, right back at Moya.
2 down. It came in at 92 and went out even faster.
Unbelievable. Watch his follow through the glove. Oh, there it is.
He didn't have time to move his glove. He just opened it up.
And thank goodness he sees it. Oh, that's more of a reaction. My goodness, what a play. Wow.
2 down, and now Abreu.
Garcia could not have hit it any harder.
Pop foul and out of play.
Who was it, Zimmerman, that got hit the other day?
The jaw.
Yeah, in the jaw.
And they say that he's going to make his next start.
Yeah.
Walked off under his own power, thankfully.
With the Detroit Tigers, yeah.
Maurer to third. Sano juggles it, and Abreu will reach.
So that should be an infield base hit then.
It's an error on Sano.
Okay. Yeah, ball came up right there. Sano maybe took his eye off of it for a split second, hit the heel of his glove.
As slowly as it was hit, Sano still had time because Abreu doesn't run well. Davidson will bat.
It's a third error for Sano at third.
Errors starting to pile up a little bit during this homestand. The weather can be blamed for some of it, I suppose, but the team played errorless baseball on the road in the 5 games in Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Well,
for
they've
the
had
Twins.
7 errors here during the homestand.
Right, that's 7 errors. This is their 11th game. As it gets warmer, it'll be better.
Runner goes, Twins don't care. Pitch called a strike, and Abreu's at second base. Twins not holding the runner on, so it will be defensive indifference. First time the White Sox have had a runner at second base tonight. One and one. Nice dig by Castro. Came in at 92. Let's take a look at some StatCast information. Exit velocity 106.3.
That's why once you release that ball going from 60 feet 6 inches, you're probably about 55 feet. Ball comes right back at you quickly.
Popped up right side. And on a night where he picked up his 2000th hit, Joe Mauer makes the catch, and the Twins have won 3 in a row here in this homestand.
And second shutout by the Twins here, and both of them Jose Barrios started. So a good win for the Twins. Great outing by the staff. And Joe Mauer, storyline right there, is 2000th major league hit. Congratulations, Joe Mauer. Nice going, Minnesota Twins.
Presumably the ball was taken out of play after the hit, but now he's got the final out, and Joe can be forgiven if he wants to keep that one as well. Good night for the Twins as they open up the Chicago series with a win.
Yeah. Joe Mauer in his second at bat got a base hit. That was 1999, and then with a couple runners on, right up the middle. Not only a base hit, but made it a 4-0 Twins lead. Everybody tipping their hat to Joe Mauer as he thanks everybody for their support over the years.
Really nice night for Joe Mauer.
Yes.
And I'm tickled to death that it happened for him at home. I don't know whether his family was imagining or planning to go to San Juan, but he did it at home. And now we'll see how far the hit total continues to climb for Joe Mauer. Number 2000 in the books, and it all was a significant hit because it drove in a couple of runs, took the game from 2-0, 4-0. And right now Joe is with Marnie Gelder.
What a night here at the ballpark. And first and foremost, Joe, your team won the ball game, and that is taking care of business, point number 1. But you knocked in 2 runs on hit number 2000 in your career. What does that milestone mean to you?
Well, it's pretty special. Special to do it in that moment too. You know, leading up to it, tried to play like it wasn't that big of a deal, but then you know, see my family up there, see the boys at the top step, and then the fans, especially too, recognizing that achievement. It's pretty special.
I saw you hugging several players, and then I happened to be up there with your family. Your mom and dad were here, your grandparents here, your wife Maddie was here, and you gave them a wave too. What did it mean to be able to do this in front of those people?
Well, it means a lot. They've been to a lot of ball games over the years, so to do it here at home, it's something I wanted to do, and to have the support of everybody you just said is pretty special. And I'd like to thank them again. They're still up there, so thank you guys. But like I said, I really wanted to do it tonight, do it at home, and I was happy that it contributed to the win.
When you are in the middle of a season and when you are still within a career, it's hard to really reflect. When you reach a milestone like this, does it allow you a chance to put things into perspective a little bit?
No, not really. I think it did once it happened, you know, and seeing, like I said, the boys at the top step and taking a little time to appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And the fans here, you know, salute me too. That means a lot. So thank you very much.
Well done, Joe. Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Joe Mauer now has 2,000 career hits. He is the third Minnesota Twin to reach that milestone.
Memorable night at Target Field, highlighted by a Mauer milestone at the plate and a Barrios gem on the mound. The Twins secure their third straight win. We'll break it all down next on Twins Live.